Welcome back to Your Mutha Podcast, the show where we say the things everyone is thinking but is afraid to say out loud. I'm your mother, and we're talking about a topic that has united women across every race, religion, tax bracket, political party, and zip code. Men. Specifically, why are they like this? Now, before anybody starts clutching their pearls and typing an angry Facebook comment, let me be clear, not all men. Just enough of them that every woman listening immediately has 3 names pop in their head. And if you're a good man listening to this episode, congrats. This isn't about you. But if you get offended, it might be. Let's start by talking about the dating app nightmare. Can we start by thanking every god to mankind that I am married? Because if I had entered the dating world in 2026, I simply would die alone. I would become a swamp witch. I'd buy 27 cats. I'd live in a cabin and yell at people that came too close. Because have you seen dating apps recently, ladies? Seriously. What in the actual hell is happening out there? Are you girls okay? Blink twice if you need help. Every profile looks exactly the same. Just a simple guy. Sir, your profile picture is you holding a goddamn fish. You have 6 pictures. 4 of them are fish. One's a blurry truck. One is sunglasses inside your car. Who are you? What do you even do? Do you have teeth? We don't know. Then there's the profiles that say, looking for a woman who doesn't play games. Translation, I'm about to emotionally damage you. Then my personal favorite, looking for a traditional woman. Sir, you are 41 years old, you have 3 roommates, you owe child support in 2 states, your mattress is on the floor. Have you not traditionally provided a goddamn thing? What exactly are you bringing to this traditional arrangement? Emotional instability? Trauma? Debt? Because that's all I'm seeing. Now, ladies, because I'm married, I get to sit safely behind the glass and observe the dating app apocalypse like it's from a distance, like a National Geographic documentary. And let me tell you, y'all are stronger than the Marines because I would last approximately 7 goddamn minutes in this situation. Let's start with the married men on dating apps. Sir, who do you think you're fooling? You cropped your wife out of the photo, but left half her face, an entire arm, 3 inches of her blonde hair, and what appears to be her hand resting lovingly on your shoulder. Bro, we can see her. It's like these men think women are T-Rexes. Like if they crop out 75% of Jessica, we're all going to be sitting there saying, wow, what a handsome single father enjoying a romantic dinner alone. No. That's Brenda's arm. That's Brenda's hair. That's Brenda's purse on the chair, sir. And judging by the death grip she has on your shoulder, sir, she is absolutely aware you're on dating apps pretending to be single. Then you click on to the next photo and suddenly there's a family Christmas card. Bro, why is your wife in matching pajamas behind you? Who is this for? Who are you performing for? Because nobody else is buying it, and you don't even get me started on the men posting pictures with their children on dating apps. It's real. It's real. If you don't believe me, swipe. You'll see. You'll see. What are we actually doing? Nothing says I make questionable decisions quite like uploading 12 photos of your minor children onto an app full of complete strangers. And somehow they think it's a selling point. Look at me with my kids. Sir, this isn't a school fundraiser. This isn't Facebook. It definitely isn't your Christmas card. It's a goddamn dating app. I don't know you. The women scrolling don't know you. Half the people on there are using fake names. And your first instinct was to upload your children? That doesn't earn brownie points. That earns a goddamn side eye, a hard side eye. Internet safety is not a group project. Leave the kids out of it. God damn. Do you have any idea what kind of creeps are on the internet? Do your children not have roadblock accounts? I think you need parental controls. For real. And the best part is the 2 a.m. texters, the men who emerge from the darkness like raccoons digging through a dumpster. Every single message starts the exact same way. Sup, beautiful. Not hello, not good evening, not how was your day, just sup, beautiful. At 2:07 in the morning. Because apparently that's when all the great love stories begin. And if you don't answer, oh my God, the transformation. 5 minutes later, hello. 10 minutes later, question mark. 10 minutes later, you there? 20 minutes later, guess you're too good to answer. 30 minutes later, wow, with a bunch of W's. You know exactly what I'm talking about, girly pops, you know. 45 minutes later, whatever. An hour later, you're probably talking to another dude. 2 hours later, ew, you're ugly anyway. Fuck you. Excuse me? I rolled over at 6 a.m. to get ready for work, and I literally witnessed your entire meltdown by yourself in the chat. Sir, how do we go from hello beautiful to you're not even that attractive in under 90 minutes? You just completed the entire grieving process by yourself. I wasn't even participating. You had a full relationship, breakup, custody battle, and emotional collapse in a conversation by yourself. Buddy. Listen, hold your Mountain Dew extra tight when I say this. Log off your mom's internet. Take your emotional support vape pen, put down the gaming headset, and go to bed. We do not text women at 2 o'clock in the morning on dating apps. Nobody has ever found the love of their life during a 2:30 a.m. temper tantrum. Then we have the serial swipers. The men who swipe right on literally every woman with a pulse, some without. That could be a preference. I don't know how they haven't worn their thumb down to a nub, honestly. Is there a groove in their screen? It has to be. I don't know how they don't have goddamn carpal tunnel syndrome at this point. They're just sitting there like, yes, yes, swipe, yes, swipe, maybe, well, swipe, swipe. They're not dating. They're fishing with dynamite. At this point, it's not an attraction. It's a volume-based business strategy. They're approving women so fast, they probably don't even know what anyone looks like. You could upload a picture of a refrigerator and they'd still match with you at 3:30 in the morning. Then when they finally get a match, they act shocked, like, congratulations, sir. After approving every woman within a 150-mile radius, one finally was desperate enough to answer. The algorithm didn't choose you, Poppy. Statistics did. Honestly, the more I hear about dating apps, the more convinced I am that marriage isn't a relationship status. It's witness protection. Just to give you gentlemen a slight clue about how seriously girls take dating apps. Me and a bunch of my girlfriends used to have a group chat, and we called it Tinder Fire. Most of us were in long-term relationships. We weren't on there because we were looking to date. We were on there for group chat content. And what we would do is, all you poppies out there swiping on us and saying ridiculous shit, we would then screenshot it and drop it in the chat. Yeah, that was the best group chat I've ever had. Tinder Fire will live forever. So at the end of the day, let's not take this seriously. People on dating apps, I don't even think really want to date. I think they're there just to fill the boredom. Then there's the psychopaths that use it like a bridal catalog. And while we're on this subject, let's talk about the audacity of men, the confidence, the absolute unearned self-esteem, because I've never seen anything like it ever. A man can be unemployed, missing half his hair, driving a vehicle that sounds like a dying lawnmower with rabies being pushed down a flight of stairs, living with his mother, sleeping on a mattress that still has the manufacturer's tag attached because it's sitting directly on the goddamn floor, eating dinner off paper plates because he doesn't own dishes, using a milk crate as furniture, and somehow believes he deserves a supermodel who cooks, cleans, pays half the bills, raises his children, manages his appointments, remembers his mother's birthday, that's a big one, handles all the emotional labor, supports his dreams, strokes his ego, and remains grateful for the privilege of being in his goddamn presence. The confidence of a mediocre man should be bottled up and sold. Women would become unstoppable if we held that one. Could you imagine? If women had even 10% of the confidence of some of these weak-ass men walking around, game over. Women would be applying for jobs they aren't qualified for and getting them, walking into boardrooms, running countries, starting companies, buying goddamn islands. Meanwhile, women with 3 degrees, a career, a mortgage, and their entire life going are sitting there wondering why they're not good enough. And Todd's over there living in his cousin's basement asking women what they bring to the table. The table? Why do these men keep asking women what they bring to the table? Sir, you don't even own a goddamn table. And if you do, it's from Rent-A-Center and they're knocking on your door every 3 days to get it back. Or you have a folding card table from Walmart with one leg shorter than the other. Every time you set a drink down, it wobbles. What table are we discussing? Let's talk about this. These men always speak like they're conducting a job interview. What do you bring to the table? Buddy, you first. Tag in. Let's review your application. Current employment status? Questionable. Credit score? Ooh, classified. Living arrangements? Complicated. Emotional maturity? Definitely still loading. Relationship skills? Error 404. Def not found. And somehow you are conducting this interview, sir? The audacity should be studied by scientists. I genuinely want to know where this confidence comes from. because it cannot be based on reality. There has to be a secret support group somewhere, I'm telling you, a weekly meeting somewhere, a room full of mediocre men standing in a circle hyping each other up. Todd, you're a king. Thanks, Steve. You're a legend, bro. Nah, Todd, you're the legend. No, Steve, you are. I can literally visualize this. And then they all leave convinced they're God's gift to women. Who told these men they were prizes? Who gave them the participation trophies that got them here? Because I need names. I need accountability. I need to speak to the goddamn manager. Because somewhere along the way, somebody convinced these men that existing is a goddamn accomplishment. They act like showing up is enough, like simply being male automatically qualifies them for admiration. Ugh, congratulations, you successfully arrived. Would you like a trophy, a parade? Jesus, a commemorative statue maybe? Because that's about all you've done. And don't even get me started on the standards. Oh my God, the standards. These men have requirements longer than a mortgage application. She must be beautiful, fit, independent, successful, financially stable, drama-free. That's one of my favorite ones that they say. Supportive, loyal, feminine, confident, not too confident though, ambitious, but not more ambitious than him. She must cook, clean, raise kids, work full-time, contribute financially, take care of herself. Have hobbies, respect him, encourage him, build him up, never question him, never disagree with him. Definitely never age, never gain weight, never have needs, never have bad days. Don't ask for help. Never expect anything. And if she does all that, he might text her back. Might. The level of delusion is fascinating, sir. Let's discuss your qualifications, big boy. What exactly are you bringing besides fantasy football and emotional instability? Because from where I'm sitting, you're making demands like you're a billionaire. Meanwhile, you're splitting a Netflix account with your mom. Then they hit you with my favorite line. I'm a high-value man. Oh, my fucking God. Oh, are you? According to whom? Your mom? Don't let her pump your ego that hard. Because whenever a man says he's high value, I immediately become suspicious. Truly successful people don't walk around announcing it every 5 minutes. Imagine if rich people did that. Hi, my name's Jeff. I'm rich. Nobody does that. But mediocre men, every single day, I'm a king. Sir, you are not a king. You're Larry. You work second shift. Please sit the fuck down, all the way down. Nobody's preparing the royal carriage. Nobody's building castles. Nobody's writing songs about your greatness. You forgot to pay your electric bill twice in the last 3 months. Let's stay grounded. Let's be real. Then they say women need to earn them. Earn you? Let's unpack that. Earn exactly what? The opportunity to wash your laundry? The privilege of reminding you to schedule a goddamn dentist appointment? The honor of explaining basic emotional intelligence for the 15th time? What exactly is that reward? Because the math isn't adding up. It's like buying a gym membership and somehow gaining weight. The investment doesn't match the return. And here's the thing. Most women aren't even looking for perfection. That's the funniest part. Women have spent years lowering the bar. Years. At this point, the bar's on the goddamn floor. Actually, scratch that. The bar went underground. Women are asking for basic things like communicate, tell the truth, keep your word, be somewhat respectful, contribute equally, or hey, just even contribute a little, take responsibility. How about act like an adult? That's my favorite. And somehow some men hear that list and react like they've been asked to climb Mount Everest barefoot carrying a goddamn refrigerator. The dramatic response is incredible. And let's be honest, these women listening know exactly the type of man I'm talking about. The guy who thinks taking out the trash once deserves a standing ovation. The guy who babysits his own children and wants recognition and openly calls it babysitting. That speaks for itself. The guy who folds 2 towels and suddenly believes he's carrying the entire household. The guy who remembers one anniversary and thinks he's the husband of the century. Sir, you are not being graded on a curve. You're an adult. This is what adults do. The real problem is that some of these men have never been humbled. Nobody ever told them, buddy, you're average, and that's okay. Most people are average. Average isn't bad. Average is normal. The problem starts when average starts believing it's exceptional. That's where the chaos begins, because confidence is attractive. Delusion is not. Self-respect is attractive. Arrogance is definitely not. Knowing your worth is very attractive. Thinking everyone should worship you is disgusting. And some of these men have crossed that line so aggressively they can't even see it anymore. They don't want a partner. They want an audience. They want applause. They want admiration. They want someone to tell them they're amazing while contributing the bare minimum. Most of them, it's less than bare minimum. And ladies, the next time one of these men asks, what are you bringing to the table? Ask him what he's serving. Because if all he's bringing is audacity, ego, and a Mountain Dew collection, you can politely excuse yourself from dinner, because the only thing bigger than some men's confidence is the gap between the confidence and his reality. And like, don't think I'm sitting here bashing on men, because I'm not. I grew up with all guys. I've always been a car girl. Most of my life I've been surrounded by men. Garages, car shows, parts counters, service departments, street races. I've spent years in male-dominated environments, and let me tell you something, I've heard everything. And I mean everything. I've heard the conversations they think women will never hear. I've heard how they talk when they think nobody's listening. I've watched them give relationship advice to each other. That's scary. And sometimes I would sit there and think, bro, I love you, but you're the problem. The same man complaining his wife doesn't want intimacy hasn't planned a date since Obama was president. The same guy wondering why his girlfriend's frustrated hasn't washed a dish voluntarily in 6 years. The same guy claiming women are impossible can't communicate beyond grunting and forwarding dirty memes. Let's be honest. But somehow women are confusing? No. You're just not listening. I grew up with guys. Now here's the thing. I know some women are going to get mad when I say this, and some men are going to get nervous. But hear me out. I have a unique perspective on this whole dating thing, because unlike a lot of women, I grew up with the guys, not just around guys, with guys. You know what they say, if it has testicles or tires, it's going to be a problem, but at least it's a fun ride. Listen, you can find us all at car shows, garages, racetracks, bike nights, parking lot meets, shop benches, toolboxes. I've spent more time around grown men arguing about horsepower than most people spend with their own families. And for whatever reason, I've always been accepted into the boys' club. Not because I'm one of the girlfriends, not because I'm somebody's wife, not because I'm somebody's sister, not because they're actively trying to date me. I was always just one of the guys who just happened to have boobs. That's it. That's all. I wasn't the girl sitting in the corner pretending to understand what a camshaft was while wearing a pink hoodie with whatever car brand her man drives. Pink hats are real, trust me. I was under the hood. I was racing my own car. I was wrenching on cars. I was building. I was customizing. I was right there with them, which means something happened. They eventually forgot I was a woman. And ladies, that is when you hear everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. The conversations become unfiltered. The truth comes out. And let me tell you, you think group chats are vile and unhinged? Okay, let John tell you about his backseat date with the town bicycle last night. That's tame compared to us ladies. Some of y'all would never recover if you heard the conversation I've heard. Never. I've heard every relationship complaint known to mankind, every excuse, every lie, every bad decision. Those are the best ones. Every story. The best part is every nickname. And don't even get me started on the nicknames. Men will nickname everybody. If you think we do it bad, ladies, you have no idea. Nobody's safe. You think your name's Ashley? Not anymore. Now you're Jungle Drugs. Or Handjob Hillary. Or Gapped Gabby. Women have no idea. Then there's the ones who will never live down the stories about them. 25 years later, I can mention Cheese Curl, and every dude I know knows exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. Every town has them. Every friend group has them. Every group of guys has stories that become local folklore. They're just passed down from generation to generation like family heirlooms. And every guy somehow knows the story, every single one of them. Now, before anybody gets offended, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I've heard it and I understand it on a different level. And if women knew how much information men share with each other, y'all pass out. These men tell each other everything, and I do mean everything. The same man who can't communicate with his girlfriend somehow gives his friends a 45-minute PowerPoint presentation on the unevenness of Britney's boobies. Believe it, it's real. And they'll even provide visual aids. And here's the funny thing, I absolutely love my guy friends. Love them. Would do anything for them. Some of the most loyal people I know. Some of the funniest bastards I've ever met. Some of the best friends I've ever had. But would I date them? Absolutely not. No, thank you. Not a chance. And that's how you know I'm telling you the truth, because sometimes I sit there listening to them and think, oh, girl, run fast, run like your hair's on fire. Because as much as Kyle is my boy, I love Kyle, would help Kyle move, would bail Kyle out of jail, would answer a phone call at 2 a.m. if Kyle called and needed me, I would never date Kyle. Kyle's a terrible boyfriend, good friend, horrible boyfriend. You don't even know that Kyle's been trying to hook up with your mom for the last 6 months, or that he has your best friend's nudes in a locked iPhone gallery labeled calculator app. Like I said, if you all only knew, I think women forget that. Being fun isn't the same as being reliable. Being charming isn't the same thing as being emotionally available. Being funny isn't the same thing as being a good partner. And I know a lot of guys that are fantastic friends, guys that would give you the shirt off their back, guys that would drive 3 states to help you if your car broke down, guys that would throw hands for you, but ask them to communicate their feelings. Suddenly we've got a system failure. Blue screen, Windows has crashed, please restart. Then they'll sit there confused. My girlfriend's upset. Really? Well, let's investigate it, Brad. Did you listen to anything she said? Well, she talks a lot. Sir, so does the chat in fantasy football, but you retain all that info just fine. Did you follow through on anything you promised? Yeah, all the shit I didn't forget. Did you remember your anniversary? Yeah, she reminded me 10 times in the week leading up to it. Interesting. That's a mystery. Sherlock Holmes couldn't have solved this one. Oh my good God. And the worst part is the relationship advice they give each other. Oh my God, ladies. If you ever hear relationship advice from a group of men in a garage at 1 a.m., cover your ears. Headphones, earmuffs. Earmuffs. One guy's giving advice while actively destroying his own relationship. Another guy's getting divorced. Another guy's been single since 2017. Another guy's texting 3 women and getting ignored by all 3 of them, but somehow labeling himself the group pimp. And somehow this is the panel of experts your man turns to for advice. Meanwhile, they're all nodding, yeah, bro, facts, bro, you're right, bro, yeah. Nobody knows what's happening. It's chaos. It's pure chaos. But here's the part nobody talks about. For all the jokes, for all the stupidity, for all the nonsense, most of these guys are actually good people. They're loyal, they're protective, they're funny, they'd help anybody. They'd give away their last dollar. They just completely lose their minds when romance enters the equation. It's like watching a real time lapse of a lava lamp heating up, for real. The light's on, but nobody's home. You know what I'm saying to you? The same guy who can rebuild an engine in 6 hours suddenly can't understand why his girlfriend's upset that he forgot her birthday dinner with her parents. Again. For the 3rd year in a row. How are you capable of diagnosing a transmission problem by sound, but incapable of figuring out why your wife's angry? The mystery continues. And after years around these guys, I've learned one thing. Women think men are complicated. Men think women are complicated. The truth? Neither one's complicated. Most people tell you exactly who they are. The problem is nobody listens. So ladies, when your friends ask me for dating advice and they say, how do I know if he's a red flag? I always have to laugh and giggle a little bit. Because after spending years in garages, dealerships, bike nights, racetracks, street races, trust me, the red flags usually aren't hiding. They're waving proudly in the wind, usually attached to a lifted truck with a guy inside wondering why nobody appreciates what a catch he is. And while we're on that subject, let's touch on weaponized incompetence, because this one's a big one. My favorite subject, because ladies, you know exactly what this is. Every single one of you. It's when a grown man suddenly develops the survival skills of a baby deer in headlights. Okay? He can diagnose an engine problem from a sound. He can rebuild a transmission. He can tell you the quarterback statistics since 1987. He can explain the entire plot of a video game he played 12 years ago. He can remember the firing order of a small block Chevy. He can identify a motorcycle from 300 yards away just by the exhaust sound, but somehow cannot locate the ketchup. The ketchup. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The ketchup that's been in the same spot in the refrigerator for the last 5 years. He'll open the fridge. He looks directly at it, stares, calls your name, and now it's your problem. Sir, are your eyes decorative? Did they just come standard with the fucking doofus package? Because I know for a fact they work. I've seen you spot a deer on the side of a highway 70 miles per hour, half a mile away. I've watched you identify a cracked belt from a noise that sounds like 2 squirrels arguing. But suddenly the mustard becomes invisible with the ketchup. Interesting, very interesting. Then they hit you with, can you help me find it? Bro, help you find it, buddy. We're standing in the same kitchen. You have access to the same information I do. This isn't a scavenger hunt. You didn't lose a rare artifact. It's ketchup and mustard. It's right there in the ketchup spot where the ketchup lives. Now here's where it gets funny. Because women think these men are helpless and they must help them and help them survive. They're not helpless. They're not even a little bit helpless. That is the scam they play on you, girly pop. The biggest lie ever sold. Because watch what happens when they're interested in something. A man who can't find the ketchup can suddenly locate a discontinued motorcycle part manufactured in '94 by a company that no longer exists within 30 minutes. using 3 forums, Facebook Marketplace, a Reddit thread from 2011, and a guy named Earl in Oklahoma. Suddenly he's Sherlock Holmes. Suddenly he's Liam goddamn Neeson. Suddenly he's got a very particular set of skills. But the ketchup or loading the dishwasher, that's even better. Apparently impossible. No. I refuse. You're not incapable. You're selectively capable. There's a difference. And let's talk about the moms while we're on this subject, because we're going to go there. Because some of these men don't want girlfriends. They don't want wives. They don't want partners. They want mommy 2.0, a software update, a newer version of the woman who did everything for them the first time. Think about it. Who packed his lunch? Mommy. Who reminded him of his appointments? Mom. Who washed his clothes? Mom. Who knew where everything was when he couldn't find it? Mom. Who handled all the details of his life? Mom. Then he moves out and suddenly he's shocked. He's lost. Because apparently he thought another woman was just automatically going to sign up for the position. Like a relay race. No, thank you. Drop that baton. This is not how this works. It's not mom tags girlfriend, girlfriend tags wife. And the responsibilities just keep transferring. Sir, no, that's not how this works. That's not a relationship. That's an internship. And women are tired of this bullshit. You know why? Because they're carrying the entire operating system. Every household has one person that's secretly running NASA, remembering the appointments, buying birthday gifts, scheduling the doctors, tracking school events, paying the bills, knowing where the important documents are, knowing which kid likes which snack, and if they need to be refilled, knowing when the dog needs to go out, knowing literally everything. And then some guy walks in and says, you should have asked. You could have made me a list. If I hear the word list, I'm going to take a deep breath in and count to 10. Should have asked? Asked who? The other adult. Why do I need to assign basic life functions like I'm managing a goddamn construction crew, sir? You live here too. You have eyeballs. You walk past the overflowing trash can 17 times. Were you conducting research? Were you waiting for a scientific breakthrough? That's what it is. You were hoping it was going to grow legs and walk its ass out to the trash can for you, huh? At what point was action supposed to occur? And the funniest part, the second women stop doing everything, the whole system collapses immediately. Within 48 hours, laundry mountain, dishes everywhere, no groceries, no toilet paper, nobody knows where anything is. The house starts looking like a FEMA disaster zone. And then they'll say, I didn't know. Of course you didn't know. Because you outsourced your awareness. You subcontracted your adult responsibilities to me. And now the contractor quit. Then these same men wonder why women are exhausted. Sir, she's not tired because she folded towels. She's tired because she's carrying your mental load, her mental load, the kid's mental load, the dog's mental load, and somehow your mother's birthday's squeezed in there somehow too. Meanwhile, you're sitting there asking, what's wrong? Fucking everything. Everything's wrong. And before the men start emailing me, listen, I'm joking, mostly. Because there are amazing men. Plenty of them. Men who cook, clean, parent, show up, take the initiative, handle their business, and act like partners. Those men really do exist. And here's the funny thing. Nobody has to remind those men to do things. Because they don't see helping us as helping. They see it as participating in their own life. That's the difference. The problem isn't that some men can't do these things. The problem is they've learned they don't have to when we enable them. Because somebody else eventually will do it for them if they wait long enough. And then one day they wake up confused why their wife is frustrated or checked out or tired or resentful. And then they're sitting there saying, she never told me. Buddy, she told you. She told you 17 times. Remember, you told her she was nagging you. You just thought she was giving you a TED Talk. You weren't listening. And that was the secret. Weaponized incompetence isn't about ability. It's about responsibility. It's not that you can't. It's that you've learned somebody else will. And once women realize that difference, the whole game changes. Because suddenly the question becomes, are you incapable or are you just comfortable not doing it? And trust me, these are two very different things. I guess this is going to segue us into the mommy replacement program. I didn't want to go here, but let's be honest. Some of these men are not looking for wives. They're looking for a replacement mother, someone to cook, clean, manage, organize, remind, schedule, encourage, support, finance, and praise them for completing tasks they should have already been doing. And the minute you stop, they act shocked. Sir, you didn't lose a wife. You lost your unpaid personal assistant. When you treat your partner as a maid service, you are literally foregoing any kind of intimacy whatsoever. That's all on you, big boy. That has nothing to do with her. And then you guys like to turn around and say, my husband nags me. Ugh. Ladies, nagging is just what men call repeated requests after they ignored the first 12. If I ask you once and you do it, I'm not a nag, I'm efficient. If I have to repeat myself 500 times like a tickle me Elmo, I'm out, count me out. But anyway, let's circle back. Why are dating apps so bad? Because everybody thinks they deserve a luxury vehicle while showing up with bicycle energy. That's why. And to touch base on the good men, there are good men, absolutely. They're just usually busy, working, raising families, being decent human beings, not posting shirtless bathroom selfies with captions about loyalty and being a king. The good ones exist. The problem is women have to sort through 400 walking red flags to find one. It's like finding a diamond in a landfill. Possible? Yes. Fun? No. Ladies, stop dating potential. Potential doesn't pay bills. Potential doesn't communicate. Potential doesn't wash dishes. Potential definitely doesn't raise children. Potential's a fantasy. Pay attention to your reality. Believe actions, not promises. And gentlemen, if you're listening, nobody expects you to be perfect. Nobody expects perfection. Women are not asking for perfection. They're asking for partnership. There's a huge difference. Just show up, participate, take initiative, handle your goddamn business. Be a man. Be a man without her begging for it. Because the bar is literally on the floor, and somehow some of you is still tripping over it. That's it for this week's episode of Your Mutha Podcast. If you laughed, got offended, felt personally attacked, or immediately thought of somebody while listening, good, I did my job. Don't forget, send me your stories, your questions, your dating disasters, and your grown man-child encounters for next week's Ask the Auntie segment. Join our Facebook group, Your Mutha Podcast, where you can anonymously post those stories and questions. And remember, don't be bitter, be better. Your mother said so. See y'all next week.